All right. Let's see if the audio is going through. Hello. There we are. Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to another episode of Sunday Night Streaming here on The Burger Thought. I've been doing lots of small streams this past week on and off, just during the weekdays, just to kind of stay busy and get into it. I'm right now just doing my basic checks, my audio check, my video check. Waiting for my laptop to show me if the stream is coming across okay. I also have a secondary device I'm using because I decided why not broadcast over on hold on. Alright, that sounds good. Raising up the background music. Okay, so I think we're good. Let's do a quick test of the chat. Hello, chat. Yeah, just doing all that regular stuff. So today we're going to be doing creepy drawings. I'll go more into that in a minute. Right now, relax. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Alright. We seem good. So I know all that's running just fine. That's all I care about. My secondary device is only there so I can see the chat. Now I'm going to switch over so I can actually hear the music live. There we go. What you're seeing here is from yesterday's stream. I did a stream was it last night or the night before? Within the last 2 days I did a stream. And we did some creepy people, some creepy children. Alright, so now we're up across the board. We are broadcast as I choke on a freaking breadstick. Oh, excuse me. We are broadcasting live to Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. And if it's a reminder to everyone, if you want to see any older streams, they all usually get saved over on YouTube. Instagram doesn't like to save them, and Twitch only saves them for like a week or so. So, what we have on the screen right now are some spooky children, some spooky undead-esque children, and I had mentioned in the past and during this last stream that I have books. I have okay, so I just finished going through 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe about 9, if not more, sketchbooks. I quickly flipped through them over the past hour, since high school. So you're talking 2001 ish to now. I have slowed down in my sketchbook production because my job just doesn't let me draw freely at work. I don't have the time for that. But I went through all of them and I looked up all the creepy crawlers I kind of land in this particular franchise. Originally, once again, this was an Evil Dead kind of fanfic thing. I was just drawing all kinds of undead and or possessed individuals. So I went through all my sketchbooks and I found all of the sketches that kind of were done whenever I was in that mindset. And it is sobering to see old sketches, not because they're bad, but because oh yeah, I forgot about this concept, I forgot about that concept. I got some drawings from high school I was actually really proud of, and I might want to scan them and re-ink them and redo them. Strange enough, I could not find the page, the particular book I was looking for with all the heads. It was just like I mentioned I mentioned before. It was just a book, and it just had all of these heads in it, and each head was just another monster concept, and I couldn't find that page. Then again, I was kind of rushing through it. So anyway, here are the two children we did yet last time. I'm gonna close this out. Don't save. I just scanned a bunch of random monsters. So we have this dude, bit of a bat dude. Where are you? I just pasted you. Did I? Try again. Copy. Paste. There we go. So we got this severed skull, which has sprung open into like a bat head. So we're gonna take that sketch I liked. Bunch of the scan didn't come out as good. That's okay. Ooh, let me cover up the bits. It shouldn't, you know. This is a Christian channel. Some undead bits. This is a Christian channel after all. But I do wanna just like weird, like this like walking torn up torso is like maybe an inch big on the actual, like 2 inches on the sketchboard, in the sketchbook. But like I don't know, I found myself, I always like doing small like little thumbnail concepts. I've always liked that. So I'll save that. And I had 2 fly ideas. One is actually like the fly is the body of this little nasty crustacean. But I want to do let's do the fly eye. So today we are doing creatures. We are doing creepy creatures. That's our goal for today. Let me do some adjustments to our canvas. Make it wide. Give me a second. Now it works. Okay. All right. So let's start with the fun guy. Let's start with this weird like John Carpenter's The Thing kind of looking severed bat. It's just this nasty looking fella who he's having a good time. He's not having a good time at all. Man, I wish I could find that list of like heads. Same way, I scanned a lot. Like I actually let me see. Yeah, I scanned a lot. You guys can see it. The guys on Instagram can see it. It's just all of these old sketches and old monster concepts. But I figured these would be the fun ones. Speaking of fun ones, check out this. Check this nonsense out. Like I don't even think I have to re-ink it. It's like I really like the way this came out. Just this weird heads with these weird like Mace face. Clan Man is a horrible name for this character. Sorry about that. That's a horrible name for the character. That's the wrong tool. Anyway, but yeah, just a guy whose skull has like expanded to like this ice cream cone shape. It's one guy whose head completely gets severed and grows spikes and becomes an actual mace. And here's a throwback. That used to be my signature. It's a DAB. That used to be my signature. And I really liked it for a while, but it's a good vibrant like as like a stamp. But it just didn't look. It looked too boring for me. But yeah, that used to be my original signature. Let's do don't save. Okay, so we're just gonna go right into this poor Mook right here. Also, I just liked the idea that it's stretching the face, like the eyes are being pulled outward. Let me see if I can scoot without bumping into stuff. Yeah, I used to just have so much fun doing these weird like like these horror concepts that didn't have to make sense. Pretorius Rex just jumped in over on Instagram. Good to see you, dude. As I was saying, today I went through most of my sketchbooks and I did a frantic scanning of all the kind of horror themed stuff that was that kind of fits into one kind of concept I have. And once again, I couldn't find everything. I couldn't find all the stuff I was looking for, but I figured it would be nice to look back at some of the ideas. And I liked a lot of these ideas. And once again, very sobering to look at old concepts. Like, man, I made this character back in high school, and I'm still drawing them or trying to. Like, one of those kind of like realizations, you know? I got music playing in my ear. It's music that I've played before in the streams, so I know it's safe. I know this particular music is safe on YouTube and on Twitch, but I don't want to play it over the speakers because I'm not sure if it's safe over on Instagram. They make the lip a little lopsided. Now normally you don't draw every single tooth when doing a character drawing unless you want it to be like this, really ugly and kind of broken up. Those are details you kind of skip. You kind of skip those fine details of like every tooth. You don't need that, but here you do. Make their hand, make it, give it a chubby thumb. Or should I give it a sleek? I should switch to 3-point. I've been doing that a lot more lately, where I've been using smaller pens, I guess you could say, point threes in all my ink drawings, because I realized it just gives me more leeway with the pressure sensitivity. He looks like the most like aggressive sounding like delivery guy, right? Like in a like if this was like the Owl House or any kind of universe where like this is like the norm, he just kind of flies up to your house and he's like, I got a message for you. This like really angry like this is what like this is what Twitter looks like if it was this is what an angry tweet looks like a troll kind of tweet if it was like physical. Just kind of flies up, says something really like insulting or just like like so crushingly horrific and then just flies away. That's what this guy is. Maybe he has a little bit of like a Brooklyn accent. Hey! Like a really stereotype, like movie version of like what a Brooklyn accent sounds like a good New Yorker. Hey! Hey, I'm flapping here. I'm flapping. You know what kind of energy this guy gives off? If you ever seen Gravity Falls, like during the last episodes, there's this. It's like during literally the last two episodes, there's this giant head. It's just a giant head with an arm coming off the top of it, and the arm is dragging it around, and he's just casually going, "Hey you, you want to get in my mouth? Let's talk about you getting in my mouth." And he's like, it's like it's so casual that he's trying to eat people. And he feels really insulted when no one like goes along with it. So when you rotate, for those of you who don't know, when you rotate, so you can rotate and you can still use the up and down of the sliders, but the nav window doesn't rotate with you. So when you rotate, if you move the box in the nav window, it just it's like working with a mirror reflection. It just never works with you. So I could use the arching tool for it, but when you use the arch tool, it comes out like it comes out really clean, and I don't want that. So I'm just kind of freehanding all of the curves here, because I kind of want the fact that the lines aren't smooth. They're kind of bumpy. They're kind of messed up. I'm trying to position the my Instagram feed, my tablet that's recording just for Instagram. I try to position it in a way that works, so it doesn't get in my way. But it is, I know for the viewers out there who are watching over on Instagram, it's not ideal. It is might be at a bit of a weird angle. Let me see. What's this here? I'm trying to see where the center of the screen is for Instagram. Maybe I should pull it back. I think I should pull it back a bit more. So I have my tablets plugged in, but it likes to be fickle. It's plugged in, but it's still losing power very quickly. So I don't know how long the tablet on Instagram is gonna last. The tablet for Instagram. Sorry about that, guys. It is what it is at the moment. You know what? Let's thin out. Yeah, this his pointer finger's a bit too big. Oh, so looking at these tattered wings, I'm right now giving him. Um, for those of you who are a fan of it, the Hudson figurine for Gargoyles, I think, just dropped recently, more or less recently, because it is being talked about on various YouTube channels. And yeah, they got his tattered wings. Really, they designed the tattered wings very well. Because Hudson, that was one thing that was like always part of his design. Hudson had old, like tattered, like worn out wings, at least on the edges. Like he didn't have holes in them like this guy does. But the edges were always torn up, which I thought was really cool. I'm going to do simple little veins. I'm not going to do bulbous veins on the wings. No, not like this guy right there. Like that. Right here. I've always, that's a bulbous vein. But for the wings, we're going to do like little, just little things. You can actually see larger veins I did originally here, but I figured let's go light again. Yeah, so I just, for a while, I was just really into drawing weird monsters. This, every concept of like, what would our hero have to fight just kept popping into my head, and I'll just draw a bunch of these weirdos. They ranged from like typical zombie-esque people, infected, if you could call them that if you want, to just weird monstrosities like this. I'm really happy with that face. It's like, your wife called. She wants to know when you're gonna pick up the kids. Yeah, that's what this guy is. Just a bearer of bad news. This would be an awesome like practical effect. Like having the actual guy, the actor, then having like puppet wings on the side and then just green screen everything out. Like that would be an awesome practical effect. Let's do a little cleanup here and there. Then afterwards we'll get into here with some cross hatching and stuff. Let's do a quick save. Let me see, nothing's going on in the chat yet. Everything's good. I'm gonna block off the Instagram for a minute. Check my settings. Alright. We seem good. Go with, let's go with the creeps. These are creeps. Creeps are just like non-character creatures, like these guys, just weird characters. Stand by. Let me check on something real quick. Huh. I was just looking at an old folder that was in there. I need to do some cleanup. Now that I've scanned a lot of the stuff, I need to do some cleanup. I'll bring that down a bit. Is that the camera? A little bit. Yeah, I'm sitting kind of low. There we go. Alright. I could cheat and just flip it. Let's see how it looks like if I just flip it, and then I could do some edits to the flip. Control paste. No. Transform and flip horizontal. Yeah, let's see how that looks. Like if I could just, oh wow, his opposite side actually drew much larger than his other side. I drew one side larger than the other. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep this in order to keep a level of symmetry. But I'm also going to do a lot of editing to it. So let's okay that, deselect it. We're going to work on this particular one. We're going to do some work on this guy. Do a little asymmetry. Let's put a little bone there for no reason whatsoever. Let's mess up this wing a bit to look like the original sketch. Joe, you have, I think you have Netflix, right? Have you seen anything on the new Wednesday show? Like, is it, because I know that, you know, they're basically trying to write, how does Wednesday Adams? How does an Adams deal with, you know, teen drama? The actual like the natural rebelliousness of puberty. Like I've seen the clips where she's like developed a bit of a disdain for her family in a way, which is weird knowing the character. If you ever watch like the original Addams Family, like they love Wednesday so much, but as a modernized concept of her, especially from the '90s movie, she's much more cynical, much more cynical. So I was wondering how's the show do? Like, do you think there's always gonna be a little bit for me anyway? There's always gonna be that little bit of like, oh god, it's a typical like angsty teen storyline. But I do wonder how they portray it like from the Addams point of view. Because at what point is it unhappy angst versus what they genuinely enjoy as like macabre? Like, where's the balance in that? You know. I saw one clip where she's being really hurtful to her mom. Uh, just like spiteful and hurtful. But then at the last part, she says, "Oh, you have, you know." She tells her mom she has no heart, and the mom says, "Finally, a kind word." Like it's this weird balance where you're never too sure like what is hurtful and what isn't. Let me see the original sketch. She has a hole. He has a hole in the middle of his wing here. So let's do that hole again. Let's add an edge to all of that. Like, you know, really on leather wings kind of thing. Like really show that, you know, these are thick leather wings that don't really have they're not as soft as they should be. Also helps, you know, show that they're holes and not just like spots and patterns on it. We have not gotten a response from Joe yet. I'm sure we will in a minute. He's probably busy drawing himself, which is always good. Like I don't like there are times where I was telling Joe of Katorius Rex, and I'll keep repeating that name for all of you who wants to check out his artwork over on Instagram. But I was telling Katorius Rex that as of recently, I'll open up Instagram. Jeez, I would open up Twitch, right? And then I'll go into the art section and then look for least viewing to the most viewing, because usually if you have less followers, you have less views at the moment. And then I'll just find a random artist who has like 7. Like I found an artist the other day who had like 7 followers, and I just started watching their video. I had it on mute. I was just lurking, as they call it. So I let that play in the background as I was drawing. Number one, it gives me music to listen to. And number 2, it's also a matter of like just kind of supporting, you know, supporting other artists who don't have that many views, because in the end that number still kicks in some algorithm. They know that someone's watching it, right? At least in my mind, that's how it works. I don't know. It's one of those like every little bit helps kind of moments. Am I not just trying to mix and match? That way it's not an exact mirror on both sides. Yeah, that looks good. Hit save real quick. Flex my hand because I still have not rebound my keys, so I'm doing like a big like cowabunga motion to like do for pen and eraser, and like it stretches, you know, you strain your wrist doing that. Oh, bunch of chat over on the YouTube side. Hold on. He was on Twitch, now he's on YouTube. I've only watched the first episode so far. I never watched Parks and Recreation, so I have no reference to that. Sorry, dude. It sounds so fancy the way he says it. In the chat, he goes, "Actually, I'm not drawing. I'm finishing a credenza," and it's like, does it taste good? It just like I know what a credenza is. It just I'm finishing a credenza. Yeah, so he's only watched the first episode. Yeah, I've never seen Parks and Rec, so I can't comment on that. I'm still using the 0.3, so when I go really light with this cross hatching, I think it looks even better. With or without pupils? I mean, with the pupils, he looks super stressed. There we go. No. Sideways pupils. Once again, it gives it like a robotic feel. And then like weird things like that. Yeah, it makes no sense. So it looks cool. That's how it works, right? It makes no sense, so therefore it looks cool.
Once again, I gotta flex. Oh! I gotta flex my hand. Bum 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 bum. Sorry, I'm just enjoying the music. I'm trying to find like chill music to play for my more chilled streams, but it's like it's literally almost always all the same music. Trying to keep the cross hatching in the same direction to keep it cohesive. Sometimes I find myself forgetting which way I'm swiping, left or right, like what angle I'm swiping at. Yes, that looks good. All right. That's one creature down. Who else do we have? We have the fly, but I kind of want to do this hand. Just the hand with the eyeball coming out of it. And then we also have like this really small sketch of just like a pair of legs walking, but the freaking rib cage is like snapping. This is a really small thumbnail drawing, but I just the idea is kind of fun. Like just the legs are walking, but it's just the spine and the rib cage is going. If I was to draw this on a slightly larger scale, I could probably draw a little bigger. But if I was drawing on a larger scale, I'll probably also put like a little bit of the intestine still sitting there. Like everything else is falling away, but a little bit of intestine kind of wobbling around. Once again, this would be a really cool practical effect. You know, maybe makeup like from the makeup of the stomach downward, with the top being green screened, and then like as I hit one of my cameras, and then maybe like a secondary prop of the rib cage. But for now, let's do the hand. Let's do this thing looking hand. It's actually kind of at the right scale for what we're aiming for right here. So we're going to first soften that layer. There we go. We're going to lock it. And we are going to also label our ink layer. Once again, I always find myself doing better with small drawings. Like small sketches. Give me a second. Just got a weird message on my laptop, don't know why. Okay. Going back to the M family, I kind of like the design they went with Thing, where it's not just a severed hand, it's a severed hand that's like probably was like a lab experiment. Like it has stitches. It just has like stitches and scars. Yet even then, it's Wednesday refers to him as being very vain and using hand lotion. Like he's like very proud of the way he looks. Gotta look at my own hand. Oh, I keep knocking over cameras. Yeah, one joint, two joints. So this should just be smooth, like that. This here is the actual. There. Hmm. Let's rearrange a little bit, because this is here, which means it's going like this, which means this needs to go away. It's actually doing that, and this can be moved. It's like that. Yeah, it's a bit of a gap in between, like the Vulcan. There we go. Okay. Now for the fun bits. It is torn skin for sure. Then you have, we're gonna go with some bulbous, like it's like packed meat, like actual like packed meat. Bulbous, nasty. Yeah, that looks good. doing the little, technically there is a raise in the eyeball. It's not perfectly round. It's where the iris is. There's actually a little raise in it. So I figured, why not do that? Obviously the eyeball is not human size, it's just this swelling object coming out. Shading right here is kind of bugging me. The little cross hatching I did right here. I don't know why.
Christ. Someone upstairs knocked, like, on the floor. Like, something fell and it sounded like someone was knocking right behind me. God damn. Let's finally save that. Alright. Okay, so that's that. That's that. Oh no, we just did one eyeball. Not if I wanted to fly. Let's just see. Let me see what I got in my files. Let me see what we got in the creepy stuff. Creepy little things. I thought I scanned a lot more than this. I don't know. I got creepy stuff, but not like the creepy crawlers. Not things like this. Oh, here's a nice throwback. All right. So if anyone ever followed my way early videos, way early on YouTube, I made this arm. Like I actually have it hanging more or less on a wall in my house. It's just this giant prop made out of like latex and EVA foam, and it's just like one of my first attempts at doing like a big. Stand by, please. There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. Now that I've done that, I have to double check to see if my camera's still rolling. Seems like it is. Okay, where was I? Yes. So I made this hand. I made this prop. With the exception of the shoulder. So I basically made it up to the bicep. I didn't do the shoulder, which is like these long. They're not even meant to be spikes. They're meant to be more like what you see, like a cat's claw, like a flat claw. That's what these are in the shoulders. And then we have this guy, Lefty. This is one of the designs for Lefty. Long story short, Lefty is a completely possessed arm that the main character has. Once again, a little bit of Evil Dead reference, but it's like it goes from the shoulder down to his arm, down to his hand. So the shoulder has like these like spikes and everything. At some point, Lefty will most likely get detached and sprouts his own little like bone handle and starts running around. But for now, he is attached to the main character. It's like a buddy cop thing. He just fights with it all the time. Here's another one. This isn't a creature, but also the idea of just like cool, like venomous sack fingers and arms with this tube that comes from the chest. This is like my old art style too. I used to like just do everything really angular, and the rib cage is like almost non-existent here. It's like super thin. But yeah, these are some old monster concepts, just prop concepts, like things like this. Like I'll probably have like it'll probably be pulsating. Like I would like to do a prop like this. Just this guy with like this like venomous touch that comes out of his chest and down his arm. Not a happy fellow. None of these people are happy. They all have issues. Let's see. What's a good creeper? A good creature. You know what? Just for the heck of it, let's do what I call the skull on a string, which is really just the hair pulled back. This guy. Let's have some fun and ink this guy. Just like a skull that's like swung around by its hair. Let's ink him up, and then I think we'll call it a night after that. So not you. Nice to reminisce, but not you. Paste. There we go. Let's shrink him down a pinch. What about there? Okay. Let's call this guy the Screeching Skull. That's pretty much what he looks like, right? A Screeching Skull. One of those in no way anatomically correct drawings I tend to do. This is like truly like a skull that looks like it's been sitting in water for too long. It's just warped and twisted. I think I gotta start setting the Instagram feed camera further back, because it is so close that I could tell that when I zoom in, people are missing out on what the heck I'm even drawing. Yeah! That's a metal cover right there, I'll tell you that much.
Gotta get that, all that. Is it drool? Is it slime? Is it blood? You don't know what. It's just this gook. This nasty, nasty gook that's just flying off him as he flies through the air screaming. I don't know if the microphone's picking up all the little clicking from when I do cross-heading. I have no idea if the microphone picks that up. If it does, sorry. Now my streams are usually 2 hours. If I really get into it, maybe 2.5 hours. But I see people who do like 3-4 hour streams, and I'm like, well, art streams primarily. Video games you can kind of get lost in. I'm like, oh man, I get mentally tired, like drawing non-stop, you know. Gotta make sure I get that spittle. this was originally done in pencil, so it has a certain texture to it. So doing like rough cross hatching with a basic G pen, as opposed to like one of the other pencils or pens that are in this program, is like the best way for me to get close to it. Once again, knocking into the freaking Instagram camera. See, if I set it back behind me, like over my shoulder, I'll definitely bump into it more often. Once again, I could probably use one of the texture brushes to get the effect I want for the hair. But I wanted to stick with the basic, just line brush right now, the line tool.
Look at those pretty boys. Look at how cute they are. My Instagram probably can't see all of them at once. Let's like back them up like that. It's way too small for the mainstream. Mainstream, get it? What the heck just happened to my thing here? Zoom in. There we go. I like them. We got some creepy crawlies, man. We got some weirdos. Like literal talking heads. See, these are... You have the main antagonists of a story, but these are the guys who, like, really push the main character's, like, mental limits. There's these little things that show up. Once again, inspired by Evil Dead. Like, they have the whole scene where he's chasing his own hand around the cabin. It's like talking heads that taunt you and all that. Like, this is like, I guess, where the dark comedy comes in. Like, in a weird way, I guess, to describe the story of The Key, which is what these guys are coming from, it's dark comedy only because it's tragedy. I think that's the best way to describe it. Like, the main character, you laugh at the weird stuff, but the truth, it's a sad laugh because the main character is going through all this nonsense. Do I have the energy or the want to actually do another one? I'm debating. Damn, I wish I could have found that. I'm telling you guys, it's I must have missed it while flipping through all my old sketchbooks, because I have all my old sketchbooks. I wanted to really show you that sheet of just old head designs. I wanted to redraw. Did I ever? I don't think I ever scanned it. I'm looking at my files right now. People on Instagram could see the files. Yeah, I don't know, man. I used to have a whole sheet of just faces that I wanted to, like... Oh. So this is not a creepy crawler. This is like one of a big intact. Damn it, the freaking scan caught the rope. The rope was folded in. So I actually made an old custom figurine of him. I never finished it, but essentially normal human more or less here, and the rest just explodes into this gigantic, horrifically meaty neck looking character. And I actually made this. I made a toy out of this. My friend gave me a broken Resident Evil toy, and I basically used half the Resident Evil toy, half of like a... You know those toy soldiers, those little plastic toy soldiers? Well, imagine that, but at like a 5-inch scale. It's like solid plastic, and it was a police officer. I don't know where I got it. I just bought a bag of it. And I kit ratchet together, never finished it. I think I should one of these days. But I made this mook. And yeah, he's a problem. He's a problem in the storyline. And we don't need this guy anymore. I don't know if I'm in the mood to draw him. He's a lot to draw right now. I'm having fun with the weird small designs. Here's an interesting one. Look at that. Just like a severed bottom jaw with this kind of like tendril tongue coming out of it. Hey, you know what? Let's ink this guy. Let's ink this one. Even though it looks... This is an old like pencil drawing, but let's ink him up. Let's ink him as well.
Right about there. That's a good scale for now. Right about there. I mean, technically, given the scale I'm drawing all of these guys at, I could probably make him a little bigger. There we go. Yeah, let's do the severed jaw, and then we're gonna call it a night. Because if I'm not mistaken, where's our music at? How much time we got left in that music? Yeah, the music I'm actually using is like just about 2 hours long, so. Okay, let's lock that down. Switch to a pen tool, let's get to it. Let's do the teeth a bit more, slightly more anatomically correct in terms of how many teeth this guy should have, and then the rest is just all screwed up. Once again, torn up skin. And then there's our jawbone. And then we'll do all the blood and all that afterwards. So it's like a tongue that's become like this almost octopus tendril. And I did all the taste buds really large and fat, so let's milk that a little bit, and instead let's make them maybe should we make them suction cups? Should we actually like or should I just make them like once again keep them this kind of bulbous taste buds? The issue we're having here is, you know what? Let's keep them as taste buds, but let's like really make them like swollen, nasty. And the issue I'm having here is, you know, you like to sketch so much, but then the sketch doesn't look as good when you ink it. Especially with the shading. Like, I like this pencil shading. There was a time where I used to do like really excessively hard shading. Like almost like cell shading but with pencil. If that makes sense.
I got a handful of drawings that have that shading, and it's so weird to look back at. Okay, let's do the shading first, then we'll do the heavy, like, solid black blood. Oh, that's weird. I'm not doing it that way. Should be like this. It's called cross hatching. That's not parallel hatching. Why was I doing that? So weird. Oh. Your audio just switched over. Sorry about that. Give it a second. The music will kick back in. Skip that. There you go. Okay, let's go with just solid black goo, and then we'll do a little highlight here and there to separate it from the stuff around it. Yeah, just the idea of like it's not just a severed jaw on the floor, but like the tongue is wiggling and wagging around. Yeah, the gore for this story the gore for this concept kind of leans a little bit towards the movie The Thing, in terms of like just how maybe unsettling it could be, but it's meant to have enough like bizarre, like over the top humor. Like it's just like, oh, it's horrible and gory, but it's also really over the top and silly, so you can't really be too disturbed by it. That's kind of the idea I want for this. And then when the gore and horror is meant to be serious, then you'll know.
Like it'll be more like just severed hand running across the floor. Oh yeah, that's disgusting. It's bloody and disgusting, but it's also kind of funny. Uh, a child who's possessed by a monster, that's a bit more serious. You know, it's on how you present the concept. There we go. To get the other side of the jawbone. Well, technically the other side of the jawbone, the other hinge, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now I think we're done. Yeah. Let me pan for the guys over on Instagram.
Yeah, I gotta find a better way to angle these pictures on Instagram. If I'm doing it if I'm doing a vertical drawing, it's perfect. But if I'm doing a horizontal like this, the edges get cut off. But yeah, I say that's it. Let me turn off the music. There we go. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks again. Thanks again to Joe. Notorious Rex / Joe on YouTube and Instagram. Son of Bonds, thank you for dropping by. And we apparently on Instagram we had someone drop by the name of All About Butt. No, is it All About Butt? Am I reading that right? No, give me a second. Yeah, All About. All About. It's weird. It's ALLUBOUT. All About. So maybe it's like subconsciously meant to read like All About Butt. I don't know. All About. I'm reading it at a weird angle, so forgive me if I'm saying it completely wrong. All About. For now, let's say it's called All About. But yeah, thank you guys for dropping in. Thank you everyone else. Thank you to everyone else who'll be watching this probably later on over on the YouTube rewatch or the Instagram. I say Instagram on the Twitch rewatch, because once again these videos are saved on Twitch for about a week, and then they go over to YouTube permanently. So if you want to see all my old videos plus some edited videos, I'm also working on an edited video that is about how I made a really cool latex. The process is the same process you use to make a latex mask, but I'm using it to make a latex puppet. That will be up in due time. Just bear with me after this. Sit down and get some narration done with the audio and everything. So that'll be with us soon enough, and that'll be up on YouTube. Some of you may know about it because I did do a few live streams in which I was sculpting for that project. But I think for now, that is it. These are labeled as the creeps. These are the creeps. I guess when I do a series of just like unbodied, possessed objects or people like this, I think we'll just call them the creeps for now. And I think that will be it. So let us save this image. I'll probably post this up on Instagram. Speaking of which, links are over on the side. They have my YouTube, my Instagram, my DeviantArt, my Twitter, and I know DeviantArt's going kind of weird right now. There's a mass exodus, but I'm still there. I'm still posting. You can see a lot of these still images either on DeviantArt, Instagram, or Twitter when I get around to like putting them up all around. And I think that might be it. So once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.